Hi and welcome. You're watching another 24/7 TBC live broadcast. My name is Paul and this is episode 41. Today's date is May 17th, 2018, and the title of this episode is A New Currency is Coming. Okay, let's get right into things here. First of all, TBC stands for the Billion Coin. It's a cryptocurrency that came out 2 years ago. I've been involved for a little over a year. And the difference between this particular cryptocurrency and all the others is that ours is not on a trading market. It cannot be manipulated. Its price cannot fluctuate. And therefore, we have partial control not only of keeping that price that goes up every single day until it reaches a maximum, but we also control how we give out the wealth to all the people. In other words, the rich can't just come in and buy up all the billion coin, or Kringles as a division of the coin is now called. Well, it's been called that, but we're just going to start calling it the Kringle coin, because the billion coin is actually the most expensive coin in the world right now in the cryptocurrency field. 1 billion coin, one coin is now worth over $8 million. Okay. It's based on an algorithm, which is unlike any other coin. That algorithm is set up so that whenever someone joins our private community and gets a free gift of Kringles into their wallet, that raises the price of our coin by 1 grain of gold. Okay, a grain of gold is the smallest measurement of gold that there is, smaller than a gram. Takes 480 grains to equal the value of 1 troy ounce of gold, or to equal 1 troy ounce of gold. So, being as it's the smallest unit of gold, that's what we use to base our price on our coin with. Now, today, 1 grain of gold is worth approximately $2.80. Okay, so each member that joins raises the price of our coin by $2.80. And we have thousands of people joining every single day to get their free gift and to get 1 coin. Now you're saying to yourself, well, how can anybody get a coin if it's $8 million? Well, we again control the distribution of our wealth. We don't discount our coin, because that would ruin the coin. But our whole mission is to get the coins into your hands. So we have promotions within our community that rewards people for taking an action, which would be to bring other people into the knowledge of the billion coin, get that coin into their hands. We'll give you a full coin, or a person can make a purchase of $100 worth of Kringles at the current price, and the current price for 1 Kringle is $8. So you wouldn't get more than what, 12 maybe Kringles for $100? But here's the thing. Once that purchase is validated, that you have purchased $100 from someone else that's a member of our community, then in your back office will get deposited 1 million cookie reward points. 1 million cookie reward points. Now, because our coin is of such large value and will continue to grow until we hit our first billion members, Right now, we have over 3 million, 3.1 something million members. Okay. At $2.80 per member, it comes to a little over $8 million. But when we reach our first billion members, it stops. The price stops. We will never have more than a billion members. Well, we will never have more than a billion coins, but we will have more than a billion members. Okay, because we will create a complete world economy and eliminate poverty, well, financial poverty throughout the world. So when we get to our first billion, the price stops. What will that price be? Well, it'd be 1 billion people times 2.8. So 2.8 billion, right? So each coin, if you have just one coin, you'll be a multi-billionaire. You'll be worth $2.8 billion. Okay, when we get to our first billion. Okay. And of course, to keep that supply and demand, we're only creating 1 billion coins. Okay, now again, we've been out here for 2 years. Okay, we've gone all through the problems that other cryptocurrencies have, and we have done something about it because we, unlike the others, have a mission and we can control it. We have kept a small amount of centralization to enable us to distribute that wealth out evenly among 1 billion people. Here is our goal. 1 million billionaires. Okay, we want 1 million people to have at least one full billion coin. After that, we will create 1 billion millionaires. Okay, these will be multi-millionaires and we will have multi-billionaires. When we're done, we've got that first billion, we will have enough abundance among ourselves to completely take care of the other 6.5 billion people on this earth. In fact, we could take care of twice that much in full abundance. There will be no such thing as poverty. Okay, this is a world that is full of abundance. We've been brainwashed into thinking everything is lacking, scarcity, not enough. Okay, that's how the central banks control us. That's how the elite control the masses. Okay, now there's some very special information I'm going to talk about today. That's why I call this a special broadcast. And it has to do with what is going on right now and what I talk about and try to talk about every single day to the economy of the entire world, because it's all tied into us, the United States. Now, not us, the people. We have no control. It's a central banking system that has made their home in the United States. They took over our money system when Woodrow Wilson signed the Federal Reserve Act into law against our Constitution and gave our money system over to a private bank, who then turned around and lends our government their money and charges our government interest on those loans. Now, everybody here in America knows we're $22 trillion in debt, right? It's insane. We should not be in debt at all. We should be making our own money and paying everything with our own money. But instead, the central banking system charges interest to a government, okay, against our Constitution, and then the government has to again go against the Constitution and create a system called the Internal Revenue Service to tax us, the American citizens, income tax on our hard work. It's crazy, but it's all we've ever known. It's all our parents ever knew. But once Nixon took us off the gold standard in 1971 is when we absolutely became a worthless currency, a total fiat currency at that point. Okay, now we didn't feel it too bad. I mean, they came out and they said, we're going to call it the petrodollar now. And then they told us there wasn't enough gasoline. And well, we got through that period. But then, you know, things looked really good because the central banks came out with a credit card, a little piece of plastic, right? And they said, here, Americans, go take a loan out anytime you want, at any store, buy anything you want, and then just make payments to us in interest. Okay, so the 70s and the 80s seemed abundant to my generation. We just got ourselves into debt. Okay, so they knew what they were doing, and they're very good at it. Okay, in the 90s is when everything started to fall apart because the system had been around since 1913 and it just gotten ridiculous. They're all over the world. They control the countries. Anybody that's got the US dollar is in control. Think about this, and I'm going to talk about this real soon. If the central banking system owns the money and a country is using our money, their money, it's not our money. Okay, even I still have trouble with it. After all this time of changing my mindset from scarcity to abundance, I still have these old bad habits. They take the money, the central banking system's money, the Fed's money. So when the Fed doesn't like something that's going on in that country, the deep state says, we're going to put sanctions on you. We're going to stop giving you our money. And you're going to hurt until you do what we tell you to do. Okay, it's called racketeering. And this is what they do. Okay, now back to the billion coin. We are in a very, very special position to have a coin that will bring complete abundance to this world. We're the only coin out there right now that has this capability. There's another one coming out in April of next year. The more, the better. But we have been here already 2 years. We have already built a brand new blockchain platform 2.0 that is so fast with transactions, it equals the speed of Visa and MasterCard. We can do transactions in the hundreds of thousands or even in the tens of thousands, whatever it is, just like Visa and MasterCard, all at the same time, all over the world. No cryptocurrency can do that right now. Okay, not with that kind of speed. That's another limitation that they have. It keeps them from being a solution. Now, cryptocurrency like Bitcoin is an option. It's an option to protect your wealth, like gold, like silver, like platinum, like precious stones, anything of value. But it is not a solution to your economic challenges that you could face, or the economic challenges that people face all over this world. And I've talked about this all the time. I'm not going to go into it today. I want to get right into the fact that there is a new currency on its way. There has to be, and we've all known about it. There has to be a currency change, even if it's the central banking that does it. And we have to stay under their control. Be a different currency. They're going to have to back it by gold because the countries out there have lost all faith in the US dollar. They get off it. And I've talked about this before, but I'm going to talk with Dave's latest report on the economy. He's over there at X22. Okay, so let me go over there. First, let me check my live chat and see if there's any problem with my audio right now. Live chat and see if there's any problem with my audio right now. Okay, hi guys. Thank you so much for again participating in my live broadcast. Stephen, awesome. Crypto TBC. Diana, you're the best. TBC Dr. Joe Stevens, hi. Okay, it doesn't look like I got any major audio problems. I always try to mention this, that I am in a kind of a dead zone Wi-Fi wise because of the way the towers are built in my neighborhood. It's crazy. I pay full price, okay, for a system that's supposed to have like the fastest, 1 gigabyte or whatever it is service in all of Las Vegas. But it's not available to me. And on top of that, the Wi-Fi is even worse in my neighborhood. It's about a 4-mile radius. I checked it the other day. About a 4-mile radius. And I've been in this neighborhood since 2012. Okay, before that I was, far enough away that I had really good Wi-Fi. Okay, so let's go over and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to read the closed captioning off this video. I'm going to have to slow it down a bit because he talks fast and those subtitles go by fast. But this is extremely important to hear. Okay, so in fact, I may have to put my glasses on just to read it. Okay, now he starts out, this is Dave talking, saying about countries are starting to move away from the dollar. Okay, we've been reporting this for quite a while. He says, we know that Russia, China, Syria, Venezuela, and many other countries, they're moving away from the dollar, and they're either using their own currency, moving towards the yuan maybe, the ruble maybe, even the euro, but they're moving away from the dollar because they understand, first of all, the deep state can sanction them through the central banking system, and through sanctions, they can control the country. And if they move away from the dollar, they break that control. And those countries that are hit hard by sanctions that get into trouble, it's usually the people, right, that get caught up in all of this. This is the evilness of the system we've been under for decades. It's something that I've been aware of most of my life, but it never really hit as hard as it has since I discovered the value of cryptocurrency, which I finally started paying attention to it at the end of 2016. Okay, because I'm not a techie, it's not a passion. I can barely get around on the computer, even though I've been online since 1990. Okay, so when I was doing research on cryptocurrency, it occurred to me, this is why it's real. It finally hit me. Okay, I don't even know why it took that long for me to figure that out. Because I've known about the central banking system almost my entire life because my mom was into that. Okay, she was into that whole scene. And I've got books to back it up to go clear back to when I was 13. Okay, and in doing the research, when I finally realized that, now I understand this blockchain platform, just barely enough to understand what it was and what Satoshi Nakamoto, the creator of Bitcoin, had done. And I said, this is a game changer. This is going to change the world. It's like a brand new internet, or it's like just getting the internet for the first time. Okay, which is the way it was back in 1990, right? What can we do with it? We couldn't do nothing with it. But every year it got better. And see, people came aboard the internet. They kept coming to the internet. And then it matured 8 years later, maybe by 1998. And then it really took off after 2000. Okay, oh my gosh. And now it's the greatest thing in the world, right? But technology doubles every 18 months. So that would include the technology of blockchain platform. The problem with the blockchain platform being used by cryptocurrencies is once they're made and they're given out to independent miners, then I don't think there's anything they can do to change it or improve it unless they come out with a new coin. which they usually will just fork off the same system. Okay, now, again, if I don't know what I'm talking about, then I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm not into that stuff. Okay, but that's my understanding. Okay, the point is, there's no control like there is control with our coin, the billion coin, the Kringle coin. Okay, we can control who we sell it to, who comes into our private community. We do know who you are, but nobody else does. I mean, I don't know who you are, except I know that there's a community of us, and those of us who talk to each other can talk to each other. Okay, now people that own Bitcoin can find out if somebody else owns Bitcoin. There's all kinds of groups, little tiny communities, but they can't control the coin. It's on a market. The rich control it. They control Bitcoin. Okay, they come in and buy whatever they want because they've got the money, and it raises the prices up. Well, you know how the market works. And what ends up is they end up with all the coins over time, and then they have control of that monetary system. This is why they demonize cryptocurrency. Okay, and Dave's going to talk about this in just a bit here. Let me think if there was anything else I wanted to say about just the fact that, you know, we are different. We have some kind of control. It's why we have and that leverage. That leverage. I was talking and I skipped it. I'm sorry. I was talking about how if you purchase 100 of Kringles at that current price that day, it gets validated, and then you get 1 million cookie reward points put in your back office. Well, see, you can redeem those. This is what I forgot to say. You can redeem those 1 million cookies for 1 million Kringles during a redemption period. We are currently in our second redemption period. Through the whole month of May, anybody who has cookie rewards can redeem them for 1 Kringle per 1 cookie reward. So if they have 1 million because they bought $100, then they can exchange them for 1 million Kringles. 1 million Kringles equals 1 full billion coin, currently worth $8 million. Do you see how we get around this? How we do this? You see how admin, the genius of it? Okay. The admin or admins of our coin, who are anonymous, logic and common sense will tell you why. Just like Satoshi Nakamoto is not his real name, he remains anonymous. There are many anonymous owners of cryptocurrency, and there are many owners that we know of. Okay, it's up to them. But ours, because of our mission, understand. But they're geniuses. If he's not a genius, he sure acts like one. Okay, so yeah, very, very smart, as smart as they get. Just like the guy that's coming out with the next abundance-based coin. Abundance-based just means the price never goes down. It only goes up until it reaches its maximum price, which whatever the algorithm is built for, that's what it will be eventually. Okay, that's an abundance-based coin. The only other one that's coming out, there's no other one besides ours right now, is one from the Telegram messaging service. And that guy is as smart as it gets. And he's coming out with his coin in April of 2019. Again, the more, the better. And people are responding because they're starting to understand the difference between an abundance-based coin and one that's on the market. Okay. So back to Dave. The people is where I left off, are the ones that get hurt. And this is what starts to, I want to say, you know, brings emotion into me, but yeah, I guess that's what it is. I can't really call it passion. I'm passionate about changing the situation, but it does make me emotional. And I hate to admit it because I don't like being emotional, but it's like the report I hope to give out tomorrow. I get emotional when I see things happening in the world that are an absolute direct result of the slave system we are under. It's really, really hard not to be human. It's like the Apostle Paul says, I hate myself for being human. Okay. I never quite understood that for many years until I realized what he was talking about. Because no matter how much the Apostle Paul ended up knowing about God, no matter how much he was converted, he was still human. And being human, we are hardwired, created, subject to vanity. Okay, and there's nothing we can do about it. It says right after that, not willingly, which means we didn't have a choice. Okay, so I find myself in that position when I get emotional because I know that's just, you know, it's just the beginning of causing someone to get mad or someone to get angry. And I don't want any of that. I don't want any part of that. Okay, so it saddens me. I turn it into sadness. And then I add that passion to change it. Okay. But yes, the people suffer from sanctions. That's our U.S. government that's putting on them. It's the central bank. It's not you and me. It's not us, the people. It's not the patriots of this country. The God-fearing, freedom-loving patriots of this country will not do that to people all over the world. We won't. It's just like when the sanctions got put on, or the tariffs got put on China from Trump. He had to do something to keep the deep state asleep and make it look like everything was cool. Trump's doing what he's supposed to do. Well, no, he's not. Okay, and I don't care that there's nothing they can do at this point. They're losing. And here's the thing is, it hurt a big company called ZTE, okay? Happens to be my phone. It's built in China, okay, but it's got American-made parts. And those tariffs created a situation where America was not able to sell those parts to ZTE over in China. So the company had to literally almost shut down. All their workers became unemployed. And Trump said, that's not going to happen under my administration. That's not what I'm about. That's not what is making America great again, is by doing this to other people. Because see, that's why the world hates us. They don't even know us, but they hate our government because our government is by the central bankers since 1913, straight on, 105 years. Now, wouldn't it be nice to not be hated anymore? Those of us living in America, wouldn't it be nice if we knew that all the countries around the world loved us? We've never lived like that, okay? We've never lived under that situation before. We think everybody loves us and everybody wants to come to our country, yes, but they hate us because us represents the government, represents the central banking system, which does all the damage to people in all the countries of the world where they have control. They no longer have control in Russia, because Russia has backed their ruble buying gold. China is backing their yuan buying gold. They're getting rid of the US dollar. They're buying their oil with the yuan. Think about that. They're the biggest consumers of oil in the world. If they don't need the US dollar, the petrodollar, to buy oil, petrol, that's the end of the US dollar in China. And all that currency is going to come back. Okay. Same thing with any other country that's switching over to gold, silver, backing their currency up with any kind of reserve or resource or asset that they have in their country, or cryptocurrency. And even their cryptocurrency in Venezuela is now backed by their gold. So they're making deals with the Palestinians. And let me tell you, the Palestinians need help bad. They are being, genocide is happening and has happened, especially under Netanyahu, for years now. It's pathetic. Don't get me started in that. Let me get back to where I was. Okay. The people that get caught up in all of this is what Dave goes on to say, where the currency might devalue they might see inflation, they might see hard times, people lose their wealth, and we've seen this in many countries. I mean, if we look at Venezuela, that's a perfect example. If we look at Argentina, we see if they don't have sanctions, it's just that the country is a complete mess. We see out in Iran, Syria, Russia, China, you name it, wherever there are sanctions, you can see that there are problems. And a lot of these countries have decided, we're going to move away. Now, Russia and China, they created the BRICS. For those of you who don't know what BRICS is, it's just BRICS. Stands for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. They created the separate payment system apart from this. Some of this stuff I can't read. And they're buying as much gold as possible. Russia is looking into cryptocurrencies. Many of the other countries, they have been moving either towards cryptocurrency or away from cryptocurrency. Those with private Western central banks, they really don't want to have anything to do with cryptocurrencies because that is the order of, the bank tells us, don't look at gold or silver, don't look at cryptocurrency, only look at our paper money. That is it, but we can see right now in Iran, those people who are nervous and afraid. And we know that the rial, I think that's the name of their current currency, is crashing right now because of all the sanctions and things like that. They are taking their wealth and putting it into cryptocurrency because it is a shield against hyperinflation. And they're able to get their funds out of the country now. Oh, now I mentioned this. This is another thing about subtitles. There's no periods. I mentioned this in a few reports back where I said if there is a financial crisis, and we've seen this done in other countries, because what happens is when there is a financial crisis, the central banking system, the governments, they lock everything down and they say, yes, you can transfer from bank to bank, but you can't take cash out. Definitely don't want you taking cash out of the system. The thing is with cryptocurrencies right now, which is really not part of any banking system, this is a way to get your funds. And this way hasn't been around for a very long time. It is a way electronically to get your funds out of the banking system with a push of a button, and boom, you're done. You don't have to run down to the ATM. You don't have to take your currency out and then go purchase gold or make a purchase into gold. You can just hit a button, then boom, it's someplace else outside of the banking system. This is the option that cryptocurrency gives. Just like gold and silver, it is an option to protect your wealth. Particular coin, being as it's not on the market and never will be, also makes it a solution on top of just the option. It's a solution because there's enough that we can not control, but there's enough so that we can give it all out to the people of the world and create world abundance the way it should be, because we have abundance in all aspects. Okay, we can do, when we, the people, have the money in our hands, we can do whatever we want. Okay, we can pay, buy, employ, feed, drink, hydrate everybody on the planet and give them everything they need. Okay, it's going to change things, and it is happening. Okay, just like the internet Well, let me get into this because he's going to bring this up, I believe. I didn't watch the whole thing, but let me see what he says here. Okay, so basically what he's just saying here is that if you've got cryptocurrency, it's an option. It's outside of the banking system. So if something goes wrong with the banking system, you've got an option. You can make transactions outside of their hands. They don't want that. So they're going to demonize it. They're going to tell you, hey, you can't go buy cryptocurrency with your Visa card. We're not going to let you because, it's risky, folks. We don't want you to lose your money. We're trying to protect you. Oh, yeah, you can go ahead and go down to the casinos and gamble all your money away. We don't care about that, but don't, we're not going to let you use it to buy cryptocurrency because that's, you can lose all your money. Yeah, does that make sense for people? Jeez Louise. Okay, currencies, they don't have borders. It's universal, just like gold. Pretty much the same thing, cryptocurrencies is really like the electronic version of that. And this is why central bankers do not like it at all. And we can see right now in Iran, this is what people are doing. They are taking their wealth and they're moving it into cryptocurrencies. And what's very interesting about all this is that we mentioned that there are certain states, there are certain countries that are allowing you or passing laws allowing you to pay using cryptocurrencies to pay off your taxes. We see stores are starting to accept cryptocurrencies. And as we move forward, we're going to see more of this. Why? Because this is going to be the new currency. I mean, Steve Wozniak, the co-founder of Apple, the guy that actually created the personal computer, he was given a speech in Vienna, Austria. We are Developers World Congress 2018, and in his opening speech, he decided to mention blockchain technology. And he said, blockchain is the next major IT revolution that is about to happen. And he explained that the outlook on blockchain, by the fact that there are many useful applications for the technology in a number of areas, is going to be the next up and coming IT revolution. He says cryptocurrencies will achieve full potential in 10 years. That doesn't mean it's going to start in 10 years. No, it's going to hit its full potential. See, it is starting already. Okay, it actually started in 2009, but it's really getting going right now. It will hit its full potential 10 more years from now. But right now, the masses are coming in. It's time to wake up. If you're not involved in cryptocurrency yet, learn a little bit about the blockchain. You don't have to learn too much. Take my word for it to understand it enough to make you realize it's the real deal. Okay? The difference between a coin that's on the market and our coin is evident. Okay? When you have a little bit of control and you can control the distribution of the wealth of that coin, then you have a solution more than just an option. And that's what we have in our coin. We're the first to have it. We're the first, as far as I know, that's on blockchain 2.0. With that kind of speed, our growth, we went from 171 vetted individuals in March of 2016 to just shy of 100,000 members in 12 months in March of 2017. 2 days after the 21st, which was the anniversary, the first year anniversary, is when I purchased my first coin. And then I decided the next day, wait, I should have purchased more, and I bought more. Okay, from then on, from then on, I've been involved with the Billion Coin and Kringles, and giving the gift out to people and doing everything I can to get into people's hands, because it's real. I know it's real. Okay, and there's obviously a lot of people out there that know it's real, but the problem is it's cryptocurrency. It's not a chatting service. It's not social media. It's cryptocurrency, something I didn't understand and refused to bother checking out because I'm just, like I said, I'm not into tech. So we have to get the word out and educate people in the easiest manner possible so that they can, or give them a reason, a motivation to say, wow, you know, this is what's happening out there in the world. And I do have all my money in stocks and bonds, all my wealth in fiat currency. And I don't have any gold or silver. I better do something. Okay? And do something. Okay? Do something. But at the same time, we have leverage like you've never seen in the history, where you can become a multi-billionaire for $110. It seems insane. Oh, it's got to be a scam. It's not. Okay? I'm not going to get into that right now. I'm going to finish this. Okay? All right. So, Steve Wozniak is saying here that this blockchain platform will reach its full potential in 10 years. So, during this period, just like the internet was started, but it hit its potential maybe 8 years later. But during that period of time, everyone was getting on board. The same thing is happening right now. And he's saying, Steve Wozniak, that this is going to be the next pretty much currency system. Now, he said all his Bitcoins, he says he's not an investor. He didn't want to watch the prices go up and down when pretty much everything is staying stabilized. And you know it is the technology that everyone is using. He'll be back. He's kept one Bitcoin. That's what he kept right now. And I believe that eventually he's going to be purchasing a lot more. And we can see right now that there are many investors. There's the elite that are taking their wealth and they are moving it into cryptocurrency. Now, isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? They see the writing on the wall. Keep it in a vault. They're doing this for a reason. Now, a vault just means a wallet, okay? It's not a physical vault. You can put gold and silver in a physical vault, or bury it in your backyard, but you're taking a chance, right, of losing it, or not having access to it when you need it. But cryptocurrency, you have access to as long as the electricity is on. Okay. Okay, the elites, he says, they're doing this for a reason. People are doing this for a reason because they understand that this banking system, the central banking system, it's corrupt. Okay, so he's not talking about the elite. He's talking now about us again. It doesn't serve the people. It serves the central bankers. And we see already that banks, well, they do underhanded things. I mean, look at Wells Fargo. I mean, they were caught up in pushing customers into higher fee retirement accounts, and they got caught, and they're caught again. Wells Fargo's business banking improperly altered information on documents related to corporate customers without their knowledge. The information adjusted by Wells Fargo employees varied from social security numbers to addresses to dates of birth. Good God. For people associated with business banking clients. Now, this is amazing because they are getting their paperwork and getting everything together to meet a deadline to comply with regulatory consent related to the bank's anti-money laundering controls. So, in other words, to comply with regulations against fabricating client data, they fabricated client data. I mean, it's happening here. The banking system is completely corrupt. The central banking system is completely corrupt. It's not part of the government. They're not for the people. It's a private corporation. They deal in profit. They deal in debt. They're not looking out for the best interest of the economy of the world. They never were. Their system is only designed to last 40 to 45 years, and then it collapses. This is why they have I can't read the word. Every single time we move to a new system, and they do this over and over and over again. I mean, 1971, we moved to a new system because the central bankers, they couldn't create currency because we were hooked to the gold standard. Yeah, well, duh. That makes sense, right? They couldn't make more money if they needed gold to back that money, and there wasn't any gold and they didn't have enough. Okay, so he goes on, Dave, and says, how do you create more currency and take control of more of the economy? You get off the gold standard. The checks and balances. This is why they came up with this ridiculous story of gold speculators. I remember that, even though I was like 13. Again, because of my mom. Yeah, they were using that as an excuse. You know, there's too many people speculating in gold, and gold is not it's not safe anymore. It's risky. So we're going to temporarily come off of the gold standard for, I can't read how many years. Oh, 4 or 5 years. And that's what they did. That's a very long temporary period of time because they've never gone back to the gold. Okay. Okay. Which means they lied. Okay. They always end up lying. It sounds great. They really think very hard about their stories. They back it up and they make you believe through the corporate media, which they own, that they're doing this for your sake, for your best interest. But really, they're doing it for themselves. The economy is breaking down right now, and we are seeing indicator after indicator showing us that things are not going well. I mean, look at the continuing jobless claims now since the last great recession of 2008, 2009. And then he goes into showing stats that prove that we have not gotten better at all since then. 10 years later, we're still looking even just as bad and even worse. They have painted a different picture for us. But what does that mean? What does it actually mean? It means the system is about to crash. Now, here's the thing about Trump and the Patriots. He's all about and ran on all about making America great again, right? MAGA, right? But common sense and logic tells you he can't make America great again without making the entire world great again. You know, it's like the world is tied together with a central banking, monetary, or currency economic system that is entrenched and structured so solid that it has been impossible to get rid of since it came into existence and was allowed to run so many years unfeathered by paid off politicians and presidents until John F. Kennedy came along. All right? We know what happened to John when he tried. Okay, Lyndon Johnson came into office. He was their man. Okay, it's like when Reagan came. Reagan had basically his hands tied, couldn't do anything. The structure was too strong. The technology in the 80s wasn't there yet. We didn't even have the internet. And when he went out, Bush was their man. Okay, so the system has ran and it has not been disturbed, and that's why they call it the deep state. It's so deep and entrenched in this world. You can't make America greater again unless you make every other country great again. Think about that. It's logic. Come on, guys, get your logic back and get your common sense back, and just realize that you can't fix something when the entire item is rotten. You can't make something perfectly healthy right there in just America when the entire world is corrupt. No, especially when that corruption is actually based here in America. Okay, yeah, it's based in London too. Okay, UK. But its structure is right here. You've got the United Nations right here. Okay, you've got the Federal Reserve. Okay, so we are at war against technology. Nothing can stop us. Nothing. You see what's going on out there. We are going to have a new currency. I'm going to try to keep this wrapped up in an hour. We're going to have a new currency. Okay, that's nothing to be afraid of. That currency has to be backed by gold. Just, excuse me, like the Chinese yuan and like the Russian ruble. It has to be backed up by gold in order for the people to have faith in it. People in the world do not have faith in the Federal Reserve note, the US dollar, right now. They don't want it. It means we have to get rid of it. Okay? Which means we have to get rid of the Fed, the central banking system. We don't need them. The people want our money back, don't we? We want our money back. We don't have any money. It's their money. That money you think you have in the bank, those are Federal Reserve notes. They're not US dollars. They're Federal Reserve notes. They belong to a private corporation who can take them back, even though, take them back, burn them, I don't care. They're worthless. When the system crashes, it's worthless. You're going to see inflation, like have a little bit of that cash on hand. I always tell everybody, well, Paul, that cash you're saying is worthless. No, when there's a transition period from one currency to another, we don't know how long it could take. It depends on who wins the narrative, okay? And how fast they can get a new currency out. Well, guess what? Trump's ahead of the game in all aspects. So when Trump wins, God willing, and it certainly looks like that's in the direction he's taking us this time. Okay, it'll be a soft transition. Currency will be there. The gold will be there. And the central bank will be gone. Income taxes will be gone. The IRS will be gone. The whole intelligence community in America will be changed. Now, I'm just using common sense and logic, okay, for that last comment I made. But it has to, because those are the corrupt entities, the intelligence communities of the world, the Mossad, all of those intelligence agencies are the deep state. Okay. So we got a few minutes left. Let me see what else Dave is talking about. Okay, he's just going on with a lot of statistics. And now I've got a ad. I have to wait for one more second, skip the ad. Okay, I do believe he's talking about Philly Fed new orders. He's talking about the Federal Reserve in some way. and stats again. Don't get me into stats because, yeah, I know what they're saying, but it bores me to death. Talking about automobile sales, going the trouble, the mortgages, the housing, the bubbles, what's going on in Canada, Australia. Okay, so he's just getting into all that. I'm just skipping past this stuff because I didn't go through this particular video today. I went through the one from 2 days ago. It's so incredible. I have to bring that one up and talk about it. Okay, and of course he just mentions the corporate media, how they're spewing out BS, okay, and letting Americans think, you know, that there's nothing wrong with the system and everything is going to be great for another 10 years. Okay, when we know for a fact that the dollar's dying. We know for a fact. We the people know for a fact. We already feel it. You know, I'm not part of the poor in America, but I'm not part of the wealthy either. In fact, I'm a long ways from it. Okay, but I have the billion coin. I have so much wealth in the billion coin that it's not even funny. Okay, but we need it in the hands of the people so that we could do more transactions. We started doing transactions 6 months into our history. People were using it with each other to buy things. Okay, it's real. Cryptocurrency is real. You see what Bitcoin is doing with a small community of 12 million people. That's all that's using the Bitcoin, 12 million out of 7.5 billion. That's all. They've got a small economy with only 12. If we grow 30 times like we did last year from 3 million to 90 million, you know what kind of an economy we're going to have then? So now you see the potential and you see the fact that when we get to 1 billion people, we will have a complete world economy, full-on world economy. Everyone will be using Kringles. It will be money. They'll also be using other money, any money that's got value, backed by gold. I don't care if it's paper money. If it's money, not currency, money, not fiat, money, people will use it. And the more money there is all over the world, the better. Okay? It's the fiat currency and the central banking system that has got to be eliminated from the face of this earth. If the people do not want to be economically enslaved and in real poverty anymore, okay, please listen to the next video I make. Okay, it's a special video. We're going to go over some stuff that is just recent news. But it's stuff that we don't pay attention or sometimes we miss. We're busy in our lives. We don't see it. We don't hear about it. And until we're faced with it, we don't really realize the horrors that are going on in the world every single day. We don't understand it. We don't know about it. We have our lives here in America. And that's why American people are not so fast to get involved in the billion coin or any kind of cryptocurrency. But in third world and second world countries, they're all into cryptocurrencies because they understand it, because they're living it. They're seeing the poverty every single day in their lives. We are not. We only see it when we go downtown, right? Or in any place of a metropolitan area that's got, you know, tents lining up the sidewalks on both sides of the street. And we do all we can to help these people, don't we? But it's not our fault, people, so don't feel bad. It's not us that are making these people poor. Yes, there is mental illness, but those mental illness people are not getting help because of the system that is so corrupt. Okay? So, thank you guys for paying in attention, not paying attention, but for hanging in there with me today and going over some of this other stuff that just validates what I've been talking about every day. Okay? There was only a little bit more. Like I said, on a video he made 2 days ago, he really knocks it out of the park. In fact, it actually, yesterday's one, I've never heard him talk like he talked yesterday. And it was a combination of the politics and how, you know, I've been saying politics and money is, you know, tied together. You can't have one without the other, okay? And when the people have the control of the money, then they control the politicians, which is the way it's supposed to be, right? They're supposed to represent us, the people. They don't. They represent the people they work for, the central bankers, the elite, deep state. Okay? So anyway, let me go over and make sure everything's cool. Okay, guys. Looks like I've hopefully haven't had too many audio problems. You know, I apologize. Nothing I can do really about it unless I move. And I really like this area. Okay. So I'll be here tomorrow, you know, God willing. Same time, same place, same channel. What's today? Thursday. What is Thursday? It's the day between hump day and Friday. It's just a day we got to get past. Okay, so let's lighten up, okay? Because I don't like to, you know, be all serious. I'm just not that kind of guy. I mean, I am, but you know what I mean. I can only handle so much seriousness. Then I just got to get goofy again and play my guitar. Okay, guys, thank you so much again. I love you all. Give this a thumbs up if you got any information that you can use to get the word out to other people that you care about. Family members, extended family members, friends, strangers. If there's some way we could go out and just get it into the hands of the patriots of this country, we'd have our own economy. Just think about that. We have so many patriots in this country that we elected a non-politician, non-bought and paid for businessman and superior deal maker. And we put him in as president of the United States. That's how many patriots there are in this country. And they don't know about the billion coin. An absolute solution to everything we, and Trump are doing. Okay? They're just doing it the way they know how, and it has to be done that way. And they are doing absolute amazing things. I can't believe I am alive to see peace happen between North Korea and South Korea. I can't believe I'm going to see, I'm literally watching the peace process in the Middle East. There hasn't been peace in the Middle East for a while now, has there? Okay? So we've got to make changes. And the only way we can make changes is get the money back in the hands of the people. It's that simple. Logic and common sense again. I can't say it enough. Okay, guys. I'm out. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow, God willing.